Hi, I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody: friends, neighbors, family members, co workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money. Grand Rising, and thank you all for joining us on this wonderful Wednesday edition of the Female Solution Global. I'm Naima Latif, and we've got a special guest for you, and he's joining us live from Liberia, West Africa. And this is someone you need to know. So we will be right back after this message. So we want you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be right back with our guest joining us live from Liberia, filmmaker, actor, musician, script writer, Bockarie Marcy Kamala. And we're going to hear something that's uplifting. So we invite you to join us, and we'll be right back. So stay with us. Yes, we do want to talk to you. And we will be talking to you today. And we have our guest joining us live from Liberia, West Africa. And you know, Liberia just had a presidential election. Liberia has a very intricate relationship with the United States. We know that Liberia was settled by many who had been the descendants of the formerly enslaved. And there is quite a history in that region. So Americans have a bit of an affinity for the nation of Liberia. We have many who have resettled there, repatriated. And now we're looking at building a relationship with Liberia. And we want you to hear this song as we take a look at the new developments with the brand new president of Liberia and many of the hopes that the people have. So, of course, we're going to bring on our guest, Bockarie Marcy Kamala, filmmaker and songwriter. And we'll be talking about some of his upcoming projects. Right now, we want you to hear this. And we also want to bring in our American Muslim 360 family. As you know, we're broadcasting on several stations this morning. So we're ready to bring in our co-host in just one moment. And we're looking forward to a global conversation as we become acquainted with the nation of Liberia. So, what is it that we wish to know about our neighbors in West Africa? Well, let's take a listen. Oops. And let's think about what it feels like as a citizen of a nation. This opportunity to talk to the president. It's a phone. I need a phone. I want to talk to the president. I need a phone. I need a phone because I want to talk to the president. Excellence at the appreciation for all the good things you've done in this nation. Thanks for your good recommendation. But you got to remember your promise us life that we are getting into is what you promised us food. We invested in the hunger. Mr. President, the people are really suffering. We got no place to sleep. We got no food to eat. Our children got no food with education. The country full of corruption. Travancy can balance in the policy for policy all over the nation. The children are crying. Our parents are crying too. There's no job facility. The street is lack of quality. Oh my God, you got to be merciful. When I remember back to when you war, you just to run after all. We have to run into the camp of refugees. But some of us are refugees now. Facilities in my sleep and stop. That's what I do. Who want to go to school? My sister said our brother to armed robbery. Our sisters to prostitution. Our parents to grumbling. The teachers can't get a pay. The police can't do the job. Mr. President,
We are not conscious, we need no more constructs. All of this is education, transportation. Teacher, tell me, I need a phone. I need a phone. I need a phone. If I want to talk to the president, I need a phone. I need a phone. I need a phone. If I want to talk to the president. Stop this corruption, leading us to damnation. No one suspicion, no for the next generation. Things will never be the same when the nation change. Although I need faith, politicians with their dysfunctions, the housing they eat all the food, they give us the bone. No meditation, people die. This is Ebola, make life away. Coronavirus was a mere beyond the white. Now how we live in our life, ambassadors of property. Who do you hear? Who do you pray for? And that is a bit, we'll hear a bit more of I Want to Talk to the President. And I want to introduce our guest, Bockarie Marcy Kamala, who is a brilliant songwriter and producer, and someone you should know because we are joining him live from Liberia, West Africa. And we're excited to give him an opportunity to give us an inside look at this nation as it prepares for a new era. Bockarie Marcy Kamala, known by the stage name Marcy B, Mr. Unpredictable, was born into the union of Mr. and Mrs. Kamara, and he's a Liberian by nationality, but grew up in Sierra Leone. He's a film director, script and screenwriter, actor, film producer, songwriter, and a musician, a rapper. We'll hear a bit of his skills. And he started music in 2007, but stopped because of family pressure in 2012. And he started writing stories and later developed it into film scripts. And he started acting in 2014. And after appearing in a couple of films that not too stressful, he decided to go to a film school. And so he went to Nigeria. He went to Nigeria for film school in 2017 to 2019 and learned professional acting. And he minored in directing. And now he's about to start an exciting new project. So we want to welcome to our show this morning. It's afternoon for you, Bockarie Marcy Kamala. Thank you for joining us today on the Female Solution Global Radio show. So excited.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
So tell us a bit about that opening song that we heard. We're going to hear a bit more about that. Tell us about that song that we heard.
Yeah. That song, the inspiration came about a lot of political fight, struggle of power, and everybody said they will do the best. Everybody wants to do their best. They want to be the best president for the country. I say whole West Africa is always like that. So the inspiration came that someone need to talk to the president, but a man like me cannot book an appointment with the president because as far as I'm concerned, they will say you are a nobody, but they don't value our voices. So maybe the only way we can speak is through music. So I felt like if I do this song and it play out loud, the president may get to hear it, and then my message will go across. So it's not basically for the president of Liberia alone, but the entire Africa. Though I'm a Liberian, so it may speak to Liberia the best, but I guess it will speak across Africa.
Yes. Well, you know, a lot of the things that we hear about Africa here come from whether it's the news media or the songs that are produced by artists. So there's a lot of songs that tell us what's happening. And I was keeping track of the politics of Liberia and seeing that there was a new presidential election and there was a lot of intense emotion about that.
Yeah.
Because that strong support on both sides. So when it comes to being able to reach people in positions of power, how accessible are they for the citizens of Liberia? Does the president go among the people and have what is your experience with that?
Well, for me, I'm not into politics, like partaking into their activities of politics, but I sit in my little corner and observe what is going on. My focus is the masses, trying to see how, trying to see everybody happy, and maybe looking at the lapses. Though every leader is faced with a challenge at a point in time, but then just a reminder of where they are lacking. So it's not like we are crying the presidents down all the time, but putting them on the guard in where they are lacking that they could pay some attention. So I believe through music, will call their attention more. Because if music plays and the people sing the songs around and they get to get their attention that yes, something need attention. So I believe we the artists have that task to make them listen to the masses because the masses don't have the power to go to the state house and speak to the president directly. But through music, the music can reach the president or the music can reach the person who is closer to the president and the message will go across. So I'm
Yeah.
just saying in the new government that we hope for the best, but in so doing, those are the lapses we had over the years. And I'm just reminding this new government that these are the things that we need.
Yes. Well, you are multi-talented. I see that you have entered into the film industry, includes so many other things, screenwriting, acting, music production. Were you born with these talents or something you chose to develop?
For me, I can say I was born with them because I when I was much smaller, I was born in a village. I was born in a village where there's no electricity, there's no facility for anyone. Maybe we just eat in the morning, go to the farm, or opportunity to go to school, after school, you go to the farm. But then my grandfather once told me, say you are great because I can put some idea together to do something. So when I relocated to the city, I started to see opportunities and my talent started, I started getting inspired by things. And whenever I get inspired, sometimes I feel weak, but for everything that I've ever done, I've been pushed by people who believe that I can do it. So at first, I developed the music talent by miming other people's songs, like the like of 50 Cent and that of some local artists. Yeah, so people started calling me 50 Cent from America, and I used to say, no, I'm not 50, I am me. But by then, I never thought I could do music. But friends were like, if you can go this far, mime other people's music and do it well, you can do yours as well. I think you have the talent. So I took my first step and I did a remix of a song back in Sierra Leone, and everybody was giving me a thumbs up. So I decided to hold music, but based on the background from where I am from, the Muslim background, it is forbidden in Africa for us that you do music. So because of that pressure, 2012, I downplayed music. But then I also used to write music along with story. So somebody saw a story of mine and said, "Oh, but this story is good. We can develop this into a script." So now I didn't have the idea of a script. They brought a script to me that you can read the script and follow the format and do the story so we can do something about it. That's how I went about the format of that script and did my own script, and we were able to film that particular movie, and it was successful to some extent. Then the next project I was asked based on my participation that I should try a scene, but they had nobody to play that role. And then when I played the role, the director saw it necessary that, yeah, no, this one scene is not enough for you. In fact, we have to change the whole role over again. We can put you to supporting major. I said, but it's my first time. I say, if you can do it, I believe in you. I've seen your action, I've seen your moves. You are good. So they give me a very challenging task. And whenever I'm faced with such, I give it my all. So I told him, if that's the case, we can pause the recording and give me a week to practice. And I memorized the entire script word for word, and I perform my best. So that's how I keep developing my talent by challenging myself, mainly from people that believe in me that you can do this. Because I don't just want to come up abruptly that I can do this thing by myself. I want someone to like see it, like, yeah, you good, you can do it. And once you give me that clue, I try to push myself beyond the limits. So that's how I've been fighting to develop myself.
Yes. Well, you have an amazing journey, and congratulations on your success.
Thank
I
you.
understand that you have some projects that you're developing in terms of film production. How is the film industry there in terms of the producers and kinds of films? A
Yeah,
lot of people who are in the industry here in Liberia.
yeah, we have great stories. That's one fact that I'm very proud of. We have very beautiful stories. Liberia is full of stories, untold stories. Um, but when it comes to production, we are just lacking the support, like the financial support to do it and the equipment to do the kind of film that the world will want to see. So most often we have the quality story, but then when we do the story, it's not, we don't do it with the kind of equipment or standard we need to do it so that it can reach to the world. So at the end, it ends back with us right here. So the conclusion of the matter becomes we don't make any money out of it. And then somehow some people get discouraged and say, movie don't have money. In fact, presently, my family don't no longer believe in me that I'm doing something that will not yield me any benefit. Over the years, I'm just doing one thing over and over and cannot get any benefit from it, and I still keep doing it. So that trust and hope has been lost. But for me, I know what I'm envisioning and I know what I want to go to. So uh, I always use a slogan to my friends that giving up is not an option. It's either I get rich or die trying. Yeah, so
Well,
so
we
that
want to get rich and not have to die
yeah,
trying.
yeah, it's either I get rich or die trying. So I'm not.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I think will turn things around, you're now being to a global audience. We're on three different radio networks. We're on the on-air radio network, on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Network, and we're on the American Muslim Radio Network, the largest Muslim radio station in the nation. And I believe we've been joined by our co-host, Kareem. Are you with us, Kareem? Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Okay.
to point out, I correct me if I'm wrong, that I missed his introduction, his name.
Yes, let me make sure
that he is a movie producer from out of Liberia.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct. And you're listening to our co-host, Kareem Hamid, who is with the American Muslim 360 radio network. And that's a whole audience all across the world. And our guest is joining us live from Liberia, West Africa. And we played an opening, one of his wonderful musical creations. We'll play a little bit more of that during the show, and another song that he's written as a motivational piece. He's a multi-talented individual, and we're so excited to have him here. He was introduced to us by a mutual friend, my dear friend, Chief Dr. Quentin Tamba Taylor de Alexander. And he's there now in Liberia doing much of his philanthropic work, and of course came across this very brilliant gentleman and connected us so that we can expose his talents to the world. You know, the film industry here is a very multi-million-dollar industry, but as you said, you need the financing to be able to produce the quality that you want in order to be able to get it to the global market. And what we strive to do here on our show is to expose people that the world needs to know, because we have the global platform of the internet, and sometimes all it takes is just exposure to the right people who believe in what you're doing and will put up the money to make it happen. So that's what we look forward to doing. And let me open the mic here. Yes. So Kareem Hamid has a switchboard full of callers, and we also have a switchboard of callers. And before we take a break, Kareem, I'd like to take one of our callers, and then we'll take a break, and let me know if you've got a caller on your switchboard, and we'll just go back and forth and let our callers. So, you ready to take a call, Brother Now, let me make sure I'm pronounced it correct. That's Bockarie Marcy Kamala. Is that correct? I want to make sure I'm putting the emphasis on the right syllables. Okay. So let's take our first caller. Area code 34895. Rising. Thank you so much for joining us. Gotta mute you because we got the sound going. Thanks so much for joining us. Give us your name. Yes.
Grand Rising. First of all, giving honor to God, praising God this beautiful morning, saying assalamu alaikum to you, my beautiful sister, to your audience.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, it's very nice. Yes, this is Brother MacArthur, Brother Neil. And it's very nice to hear Bockarie. I love to hear his determination when he says, hey, you got to keep trying, whether it's making a profit or whether it's putting your work out there. Because you're putting a story out there, you're putting a history out there. And that's very important to share your vision and share what you're trying to share. And doing your own professional manner. And it's nice to hear that. And I know Liberia, if I'm not mistaken, was the first African country to free itself from colonialism. And then after that, Haiti. And they haven't had the relationships with the West or the top nations since then. And so investment has been small to none. But I wanted to just please speak a little bit on the tourism industry also, if you don't mind. So with that, and God bless.
Well, thank you so much, Brother Neil McCarthy. We appreciate that. Yes, he wants to know about the tourism in Liberia. That's interesting, because tourism tends generate uh, revenue. People come. So what is it like? Now, I went to Liberia in 1984. In the 1984 World Conference of Mayors, I went to Liberia, and it was right after the coup. So it was kind of difficult political times. But what is it like? Are there a lot of people coming to Liberia as tourists to see the country and experience the culture? What is that like?
Okay, Liberia has a lot of tourist sites, very beautiful country that you have a lot of things that will amaze you that you will want to see. Um, but the fact is, we don't have a lot of people coming in because of some political differences. Yeah, we don't have that free. We have peace, but we don't have that free political interaction. Like when a particular political party wins, all the other the opposition does is to pull them down, criticize them all throughout, and bring them down by all costs, so they can have a bad image. So because of these situations, people find it difficult being free around. But it's a beautiful place. If you only go outside politics, you can have a very peaceful society to live in with no problem.
Hmm. That's interesting. And I think, yes, go right ahead.
Yeah, where I applaud your efforts as a produce excellent cultural expression. Am I correct by song, movie, or the spoken word? The uh, the the sharing of culture is very important. And correct me if I'm wrong. Liberia, praise be to Almighty God, was established by in on the continent of that. It was established by U.S. interests, a place that the freed Africans could go and establish self-determination and freedom. I hope I'm not confusing that with Monrovia, which was named after President Monroe. But if I'm not mistaken, Liberia, which really is a translation from the word liberty, Liberia, and liberty, uh, determination for self determination and freedom and freedom. And I agree with you that if we step away from the position of politics and get into the lives of the people, the citizens, we see an excellent expression from out of the people themselves and not just political circumstances and situations. So we pray to Allah that you have the freedom and the sustenance, the wherewithal, the finance to uh, accomplish wonderful ethical production coming from out of Liberia, coming from out of the heart of the people of Liberia. I'll stop right there, my brother. Correct me if I'm
Now, of course,
mistaken, but
well, one of the things, because I've been in, I went to Monrovia, Liberia. So Monrovia, of course, is what the capital of Liberia. He can tell us more about that. But give for our audience, give us a little bit of history about Liberia and how the United States got involved with sending people there. That's kind of like the foundation of a lot of political strife. But tell us your words about the history of Liberia.
You mean a little history of Liberia?
Yeah, a little bit, because a lot of people don't know it was already there. and people were functioning. And then when it was suggested that enslaved came to Liberia, you had a group coming that had been Americanized, coming to the people who were indigenous. And I think that's kind of been the foundation of the political strife in the country. But can you tell us, as a person born and raised there, what's a little bit of history of Liberia and involvement with America?
Well, commonly in our society, we know America to be our mother. Yeah, like we feel like we cannot do without America. Yeah, because from the history of Liberia, America colonized us through the American Colonization Society. Yeah, and since then, we have been working side by side with America. Like, there's no decision we make without the involvement of America. In fact, we say we are small America. That's what we say. And around the globe of West Africa, they call us small America because we even use the United States dollars along with our own Liberian dollar. Yeah. So, and you find more American materials here. Use clothing, you everything about America is us. We prefer anything from America than anywhere around the world. So we feel like there's that connection, there's that bond, there's that relationship. Like even we are one. If you ask 100% of American where they want to go, they will tell you, I want to go to America. That's their first option. Yeah, they don't want to know whether America is having some hardship or some problem too. But all they know, America is heaven to. We know America is heaven to us. So Liberia and America's relationships, like that of a mother and a child, is very deep beyond what I can say.
Mm. You know, there's a lot of African history prior to the colonialism that many Americans don't know that have an impact on the relationship of the African nations, especially because you have different ethnic groups within various nations, some of them artificially put together. And so from what I've learned of Liberia's history, Americans who came in and kind of set a standard, like you said, people thinking they have to imitate the American way. That created a conflict with people who were indigenous people who never left,
Yeah.
and having the American way imposed upon them. And from my understanding, that is still a bit of the problem, because you have one thought that the African traditions are best, and then you have another thought that Western American Europeanized ways are best. And I think the difference of opinion, as well as the influence, is what might create the instability that keeps Liberia from being that tourist attraction that it could be, because it's a beautiful country. And when I went there, what I saw was the extreme of wealth and poverty. I saw mansions over here and right down the street, 10 shacks. And I'm thinking, how is it that the wealth is so badly distributed? But it comes from a mindset of imitating American culture and values. That's my impression. So your song is very appropriate in asking for some kind of an audience with the president, because I think the leadership has to become more sensitive to the needs of the people. That's just my impression as an outsider. I've only been to Liberia one time. That was several decades ago. But I can see the impact of those flashing philosophies. So Brother Kareem, because our guest is joining us from Liberia, I want to make sure that as much screen time as possible. I'm not going to go to a commercial break until the top of the hour. So if you have a caller, we can go to your switchboard, and then we come back to our switchboard if you'd like. And we've got a few comments from our Facebook viewers. And so we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and several channels. So let's get a few comments. And we have our Monday morning host that has said, Grand Rising from Chicago. We had family living in Liberia for years until they passed recently. Can't wait to visit the continent again. Thanks for sharing with your USA family. Yes, we've got some folks that have been to the continent, and we're gonna kind of work on that. And Viata says, Grand Rising, Queen and King. And we will definitely, we are having a challenge with the audio, so we want to work with that as best we can. Do you have a caller you'd like to go to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, let's take that call.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please. Okay, we have area code 706-627. Praise be to Almighty God, and we welcome our honored guest this morning. I'm opening up the line of 706-627. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you, my brother.
Wa alaikum assalam. Very coincidental. I've been spending the last 8 years with a strong relationship with a Liberian family there.
Oh, and what's the name of our caller?
We have.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's the name of our caller? Your name again?
From the Prophet Muhammad, by the way, from Georgia.
Okay, I thought so. I didn't want to assume though. Okay. Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah, and I've been working closely with the family, with a family there in Liberia who owns quite a few acres of land, and the strife that's going on in your country, due to the same influence that the whole world is having, how to deal with capitalism, different ways of expressing their religious preference to things, and then corruption. Honesty is the best policy. And I know what I'm talking about. For the last 10 years, I've been engaging in depthly with trying to help establish the rights of the landowners, their right to develop their land for the way that they believe. And like all over the world, it seems like many people love the benefits of Islam. I talk to imams over there. I have a relationship with a couple of sheikhs over there, and this has been going on for 6, 7, 8 years, and we still in the process got to get this family. They have somewhere pretty close to 59 acres of land, and they want to turn it into an Islamic and do a lot of Islamic development, of which they are Muslim families. And the struggle there of people trying to find their way of worship and get along with each other, along with historical educational things of tribalism and everything, a lot of strife and corruption. Corruption is in the middle of that. And right now, the political situation there, I think you have a new president now. I'm not for sure. I think you do. And it's the money. It's like it's going over here and around the world. People are chasing the value system of the manipulators of the world here without infringing upon anyone's cultural or economic system that they have established. But again, the world is being led, into division and strife and hatred toward each other, even though they're one family, one cultural community over there. And it's really bad. Matter of fact, I was supposed to went to Liberia with the family a couple of months ago. Matter of fact, I just talked to him the day before yesterday. And he got to go home. And he's a retired military Liberian here in the United States. He's done it 20 years serving our country here. And he cannot use his benefits from here the way that he wants to do because of the political and corruptional system there is scratching each other's hand. And the truth is the only thing that's going to set everybody free who we deal with. I do appreciate hearing a representative from Liberia on the phone there. I was trying to see if I could get your voice and see if you're the same imam or sheikh who I talked to about a month and a half ago by phone. We talked about 20 minutes, and he's really excited about having American Liberians, using that terminology, to bring their resources and to bring the religion of Islam more into the life there in Liberia. But they're having a very serious, strong fight to do that. And because of the Christian community and other communities there, tribal communities, are not interested in anything except what America, one of the countries that they really look forward to, the lifestyle over here. And the business people and the people of America are doing like they're doing everywhere in the world. They're going in with a sincere desire to be successful, but still, again, they want to enslave other countries in order for that country to get their benefits.
Well, I like to
really having a hard time getting the type of support that they knew, knowing that we are ex-slaves who settled and developed that country by the help of the United States government. And we have to get more universally accepted the truth and given to us by Almighty God of law, and realize that this is not no joke of a game. It's going to take unity, especially those of us who are of African descent. We're going to have to put aside our differences if we're going to make progress. Like a lot of our African communities that come over here in America, they, especially here where I live in a crowded area here in Georgia, where Africans only seem that you want to, especially your Liberians, your Nigerians, they're coming and wanting to marry our most educated women, who are indigenous here in America. They're only interested in what we can do to help benefit their desire to get the money. And this is something that we don't sit down and talk about it and not be tempted by it. I know a lot of people in our community as Muslims are being tempted by the progress and the carrot that's been dangled in their face about money.
Well, brother,
and they're not failing. They are failing to realize how much money we already have to invest in ourselves.
So, Assalamu alaikum, brother Muhammad. I'd like to have our guests address some of the points that you've raised. Because, and I'm grateful that you've raised those things, because we talk philosophically about unity, but as you've said, there are some real things happening between people. There are situations of really painful things, people being taken advantage of, and you mentioned the corruption, and of course our guest, he's using his skills as an artist, not only a performing artist, but a film producer, to be able to address these things. And that's one of the great things about the creativity of the arts. We can have political influence without directly being political, because of the words we say in our songs or the stories we tell in our films. But our caller, Brother Muhammad, did bring up some concerns that have been addressed. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, Brother Bockarie, regarding the honest interaction between people. Sometimes when people go, Americans may go to Africa and they're really excited about, oh, I'm coming home. But then they get swindled by people who are taking advantage of our trust and naivety. And so we end up getting scammed and things like that. So that creates bad feelings. Sometimes people who immigrate here from Africa, they're and they have a right to come for the economic benefits, but sometimes it gets exploitive, like the brother mentioned. Coming here, you marry a woman because you see the women here real lonely, not a lot of times not enough men, and they come here and they take advantage of that, and they really don't love her. They might leave her with some children, go back home, or not treat her well. So there's some hurt feelings between the indigenous Africans and the imported Africans that went through the slave experience. Have you ever addressed any of those issues in your songs or films? And is that something that could be perhaps talked about in an upcoming project? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. We've got a lot of stories. We've gathered a lot of stories on issues like that. So I even had trying to put a series together in a film that I call Love Life. That each episode we address a particular story, be it back home or America there. But there are millions of stories of people, should I say, um, playing 419 or fraud against people from America there, because the mentality we have here is that once you are from America, you are well to do. So we don't give our honest opinion that even you don't love the person, you pretend to love them because of what you stand to gain. Yeah. But in all that doing, I still believe there are some honest people who will be honest with you. Yeah. Just that as an advice too, when you are coming down, you have to be careful of how you make your way through, who you meet and how you meet them. Because to be frank, you don't just open up to anybody anyhow. Yeah, because we always say like opportunity comes but once. So if even I don't want this person or I don't want this thing to go this way and it has come my way, I hold it. My experience personally was I was working with a guy who I was the director. He was not a director. He don't know anything about directing. In fact, he just joined my team, trying to learn from me. And an opportunity came through him. Somebody wanted to do a film. If I were him, I could inform my boss that this was the opportunity is, so we can do something better. But out of greed, he wanted to hold it all for himself, and he deceived the person that he is a director. He can do it. Use my job to impress the person. That's did. And the person give him a huge amount of money. He actually sincerely wanted to produce a better film, but because he lacked the knowledge, he couldn't. So the person who sponsored him felt disappointed. So this is how it goes. So sometimes they are good people, but you just need to know how to get to them and take your time in getting to them. Maybe don't just come full, come in a bit, try them, test them, let them give you a result, one or two, before you open up totally. Yeah, but stories.
Yes. Well, that's good advice.
I heard that they follow America uh, in juxtaposed to other governments. uh, but we should follow the best thereof. Follow the best thereof, not just follow in totality. In totality, the expression of America. There is a beautiful, wonderful side of America, and there is the ugly side of America. Yes. So I suggest to the Liberians and others, choose the best thereof. Be very selective. Don't just swallow all of America, for it's a mixed bag of America, the beautiful, and America, the ugly. So my suggestion is, praise be to Almighty God, that you are, it seems as though I'm hearing from you, that through the art form, through your art form and productions, you shall foster and propagate the best, praise be to Almighty God, the best of America. The idea of self-determination, that everyone has a right to determine for themselves their path to freedom, independence, and liberty. So I applaud your connection to America. It is a beautiful place, but also we are aware and have experienced the ugly side of America. So my caution is, choose the best thereof, and we are looking forward to the expression coming from out of our sister country, Liberia. I'll stop right there, my brother, and may God grant you much success in your production efforts, my brother.
Yes.
Two minutes, if I possibly could. It's all right. I just want to give a news flash. Yesterday, on NBC, CBS, they had our brothers and sisters from Africa introducing a new fad of women in America of African descent to go back to tattooing their bodies. A group of African artists who are into the tattooing business, showing the eloquence of ancestral tribal expression of worship on their bodies. Different flowers, different meanings, of different cultural traits back in the days when we were in another development of our life. Also, as we all know, if you scan the social media, women from Sudan, Nigeria, Ghana, they are introducing again to our women, our young women, the art of what they call that purpose and all that. And they make it into art, and it's mixed with tribal, ancestral dances, flirting, courtship and dance, how they let their feelings be known when they want to mate, etc. And this has been going on for at least 5 or 6 years. And it's a way to shame our women in accepting a ancestral tribal relationship with the men of Africa. And I mean, the lewd dance, the lewd invitation and direction of these hip hop music. And we must be very conscientious of being domesticated again. And being and maybe the people who are coming here also didn't realize that Shaitan is real. And Allah is the creator of the reality of everybody. And
so, Brother Muhammad,
coming coming into the society here, and our women are engaged.
So, Brother Muhammad, we Assalamu alaikum, Brother Muhammad.
Your young daughters are really being seduced My dad.
Thank you, Mom.
So, Brother Muhammad, we got to take a break. We're about to come up to a break, but we're gonna come back and take some more callers.
You know, we don't want to lay the whole burden of the Continental Valley on this one individual.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I know we're not talking to him personally. No, we wouldn't do that. Nothing in the world.
So we gotta take a break. We gotta take a break, and we'll come back and we'll address some of those things. We'll take some more callers. And if you're listening online and want to join this conversation, you can give us a call. We've got you can call us on the Female Solution 515-605-9325. You can call us on American Muslim 360 515-605-9891. And you can call us on the On Air Radio Network, and that is 727-731-5192. And if you want to make a comment, if you're watching us on our Facebook or YouTube channel, of course, just write your comment in. We'll pull it up on the screen and share it with our listening and viewing audience. And we're going to take a quick break and be right back with our guest joining us live from Liberia, Bockarie Marcy Kamala. And we'll be right back after this quick break. So we invite you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in a moment, so stay with us.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif. Join me and my co-host Kareem Hamid every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Female Solution Radio Show, as we explore that relationship that is the foundation for our society, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. Join our discussion as we seek to repair broken family ties and rebuild our community. Listen online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to our host. Or you can join us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the-female-solution.
Hello, my people. I'm an opportunist, and I need this opportunity to talk to the president. All I need is your phone to watch on this video. I want to talk to the president. People, show some appreciation for all the good things you've done in this nation. Thanks for your good recommendation. But you got to remember, it's just like get a replacement. Mr. President, people really start putting we got to 14, our children got no good education. Corruption, Our parents crying too. There's no job facility. The city's lack of quality. Oh my God, you got to be merciful. When I used to born after all, we are RPGs. We have to born to become G's. Because most of us are real G's. My schools. That's what I do. I want to go to school. My sister said I'm a product of mind robbery. Our sister prostitution. Our parents crumble. The teachers gotta get paid. The police can't do the job. We are not pushers. We need no more pushers. All we need is education, good life, good road, good transportation. GMs.
And we're listening to the creation of film producer and songwriter Bockarie Marcy Kamala. Yeah. So are you able to hear?
Yes, you are coming across very clear, praise be to God. My advice to the Lord brother concerning being choose the best thereof. There is cultural expression coming out of America that is downgrading. You know, it is coming from an expression called hip hop, which has been co-opted by those that are against the foundation of human beings. So my suggestion is to be selective, choose the best thereof from out of America. America is a mixed bag. So we are grateful that he's on the right side of history, and may Almighty God continue to bless him and those working with him to make the best expression and the best contribution to the cultural life of all human beings on this earth.
I think that's good advice. and I've seen the expression of hip hop actually being expressed globally. I saw it when I was in Korea. I saw it when I was in Japan. Saw it when I was in London. So that musical expression coming out of the urban communities of America has become very popular. And so our guest, Brother Bockarie Marcy Kamala, you just heard one of his songs that we're featuring today, which makes some political statements about some of the things we talked about: the corruption, the degeneration of the people, and the need for our elected officials to create an environment where people can thrive. So this art form of hip hop, rap, it really can be powerful because it can make a statement. So, brother, tell us, and we're going to continue to play some more of this song, but what is your hope as people listen to music, listen to this song? What is your hope that will be inspired maybe by some other artists to say some relevant things in their music that and we're going to also share with our audience new motivational songs. But tell us what you really hope to happen with the expression of this song.
Come again.
What hoping to see happen as a result of was it President yes, this song hope to inspire other artists to do in terms of perhaps using their music and their craft to make a statement.
Yeah, most often.
Oh, I think he might have frozen. Yes. Yeah, I think he may have frozen. And while we're waiting for him to thaw out, I'm going to play a little more of this. And if you can, kind of hear some of the lyrics, and we'll talk about what he's saying in this song.
You see, Africa is a beautiful place to be. Promise to God good leaders to take us through. To lead you, the street need you. So Africa, elected to do better to by yourself. Yeah, right now, you can do better. When you sit in that chair,
Now, you know, we may have lost part
to
of
be a
Uh,
lion.
are you not able to hear? Are you able to hear the song at all?
your volume is kind of faint. If you could increase the volume, that'll increase the clarity of what is being expressed.
Okay, and I'll see if I can also make sure I have the microphones next to the sound system. So this song that we were playing, written by songwriter Bockarie Marcy Kamala, it is a song appealing to the president, appealing to the people for some level of remedy for what has been historic corruption. And it is an appeal for an audience with the president. And he says, I need a phone, I need to talk to the president. And the whole purpose is to express the desire to end much of what we talked about, which is the insensitivity of leadership, the corruption among the people. And he's making a statement that Africa has some great things to offer. Liberia has some great things to offer. But you have to fix what is misshapen inside the people in terms of their behavior, their greed, their dishonesty. And so the refrain in the song is, Mr. President, I need a phone. I need a phone to talk to the president. And appealing to the political leadership to be accessible and being able to hear the cries and the requests and the needs of the population, and for the nation to rise to its potential greatness. So he's put this in song in a hip hop form and been able to address a lot of the things that our callers have pointed out, the challenges that we face. And here in America, although we're here among great wealth, it's not necessarily equally distributed. And so we have our distress in terms of poverty as well. But when people go abroad, the assumption is that you're coming from America, you have a lot of money, and you can often be targeted for a scam, for theft, for corruption. So these things, and he's talking about a lot of these attitudes in the song and appealing to the president. So he's using I think the tool of music and hip hop to bring that message that's needed. So we're gonna hear. So now, see how
I'm sorry, the network was giving me.
So now, see how now that sure we don't get an echo. So do you have device? Now that sure we don't get an echo. So do you have device? All right. So now what we're trying to do is to correct the audio. So are you able to hear us on American Muslim 360?
It's rather faint, but I can understand you. I hear you clear. But in relationship to the audience, the volume is very low. It's rather faint.
Okay.
I can understand you.
And so now we have
but in relationship to the audience, the volume is very low.
And I'm trying to figure out how we can. Okay. And so now we have now, you know, he mentioned earlier some of the challenges in film production being equipment and access to the latest tools that can make it possible to produce a good product. So this is sometimes the challenge that we have. We reach a global audience, but depending on the access to technology of that country, we may or may not be able to have a clear connection. It depends on the internet, depends on the equipment available, the kinds of computers, the kinds of cell phones. All of these things have an impact when we're even creating products. And he mentioned needing the right camera equipment, of course, the right sound equipment. He's a filmmaker, but you have to have access to the right equipment in order to produce a high quality film, just as to produce a high quality TV show online that we do every day. You've got to have your equipment. You have to have your proper internet speed so that you don't keep, freezing and that sort of thing. So the technical issues when it comes to us being able to use the medium of the media and the entertainment that can come through the media. As he said, it takes money to have the right equipment, so you have the right picture and sound so that people can hear the message. And the challenge is getting the financial backing to do these things. But as we've said, the challenge is for people to trust you because there's so much corruption that people hesitate to put forth money because they have been scammed. So we're seeing the results of this. So I'm going to open our guest mic again. I'm hoping that we have cleared up our audio issue. And I'm going to take a caller. But before we take a caller, I want to ask about what kind of people tend to finance creative projects. Are you looking at business people? Are you looking at elected officials? Are you looking at private citizens to do the kind of funding, say, for your next film project? If you know you need to raise perhaps $1 million, what would be your expected source of revenue for that? Okay, so taking phone off mute and phone off mute.
Sorry, transmission. The internet was giving me some problem.
Yeah.
When it comes to me, I'm not an angel. I'm also a human and an African. But for me, I know what I want, determined to get what I want. And my major focus for me is for the world to see me. That for them to hear my story and understand me, that what I'm trying to push is the fact, or people can learn from me. The money comes in later, but that's the major concept that I have. That let my story go out, let people get to know my feeling, what I feel, what I want to express to the world, where I am. That's the most important thing. So even if I, for now, stand to gain nothing, but once my voice is heard or my work is seen out there, it gives me that pleasure, that delight. So in that light, I am very much open to work with anybody, the business community, Christian community. Of course, I'm from a Muslim background, but now I'm a Christian, so I work with the Christian community, and I'm also open to work with the Muslim community. Um, every angle, willing to work with donors. I just want my work to go out there, and the best way that I want it to go there, that people will see it and benefit from it, because I've always worked around message. As before I could go off, you asked a question, what's my delight to music and thing. I was like, for me, I people say I'm too intelligent to be a rapper. Because once you see a rapper, you see earrings, you see tattoo and stuff, and I have not such of this. Or you see a hair braid. So I always tell them it's not about the hair braid, the earring, the tattoos, it's about the message. And I don't just want to rap about women, how beautiful they are, or fantasy, but I want to rap about things that are happening in my environment, around me, the reality. Yeah, so that's why if you listen to my songs, for the two you have there, it's all about message. It's not about fantasy.
Mm. Well,
So it's not about me,
we're
it's
going,
about
yes, okay. So, uh-oh. So we're going to play the next song. And if you've just joined us, we are live from Liberia with our guest today, Bockarie Marcy Kamala, who is a film producer. He's also a script writer and musician and songwriter and rapper. And of course, what we know is that when you are intelligent and you use the medium of hip hop and rap, you have a message in your music. And if you are politically astute, you're able to express some of the things that need to be said to our elected officials. So this is what we're presenting today. And if you've just joined us, of course, you can call in 515-605-9325 or 515-605-9891. We're also live on the American Muslim 360 channel. We're also live on the On Air Radio Network. And you can call in at 727-731-5192. Those numbers are at the bottom of the screen. And if you are watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, you can write in your comments. And we've got Brian Vickers joining us this morning. Grand Rising. Good morning, Brian. And of course, what kind of business does he operate? And as we said, he's a film producer. So he's got some projects coming up and he's going to be able to write the music score for them, write the script. He's multi-talented. He does acting. So he'll be able to do all parts of his upcoming creations and bringing a message. And before we play this next song, I'm going to bring in a caller, 312-632. Grand Rising. Yes.
Andrew C.M. Nelson, baby.
Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear.
I'm next Vice President of the United States with Donald J. Trump, as far as I'm concerned. One of the first countries I intend to travel to is Liberia.
And on the coast of Liberia, there's a slum called West Point. And I want the residents there to enjoy what I intend to build there, namely the very thing I intend to build in Chicago on the south side and the west side, which are trauma centers that are 182 feet square, which is 55.5 meters square and 55.5 meters tall, with a pyramidium 5:7 ratio, similar to the pyramidium on top of the Washington Monument. And there's going to be an Olympic-sized swimming pool at the top, and there's going to be a mosque at the very top for my specifications.
So you sound like you sound like you've thought this out and planned it out, and if you get that opportunity, that could most definitely have an impact. Let me ask you this: of course, our caller has political aspirations, as you've heard, but do you have people that are coming with investment dollars to build there in Liberia? Are there people who are coming and creating something that's helpful to the people and even generating jobs with what they build? Do you see enough of that happening in Liberia? If I can unmute your mic here.
In
Liberia.
Not enough of
I can unmute your mic here.
Not actually enough of people, but few people are coming around to do business, but not in the entertainment sector. Yeah. Most people are coming with private NGOs, goods and services, but for the entertainment, you don't find people finding more interest into it right now. So that is what is affecting us. The music side is much better. At least you have a couple of artists that are showcasing their talent out there, and people are supporting them financially. But to even get a sponsor or promoter here is very hard. But for the movie side, the film industry is actually down, very, very down. That even those who are coming down to help, they are now looking the direction of filming. Yeah, so even the Liberians themselves, ourselves, those who are not into film, they don't believe in the Liberian film. Yeah, because they always complain on the same poor quality of film. And we who have the aspiration and passion to produce or do it, we don't have the financial strength to get the kind of equipment that we can get. But being that we have the passion, we manage to use the little that we have around us, so at least we can just have something to be doing. Yeah, so that's what it is. So we don't have much people coming into entertainment, but we have people coming to do other businesses.
Do you have a lot of movie theaters there, or even stadiums?
No, we actually don't have. We don't have a single cinema or film theater in Liberia. Not a single one that I know of presently. Yeah, absolutely no. And we just sometimes host our own programs in church halls, community halls, where we just a handful of people that comes around. Maybe people who are just familiar with you. Yeah. And sometimes it hurts when you do a work and there's nobody to view it. Nobody at all wants to show interest to even see it. So it breaks you down. But because of passion, it's only passion that is actually carrying us. Nothing more but passion. If not, we would have given up ever since. Yeah.
Well, we're going to take another break and come back and take some more calls. What you've said, it really points to how people know how to generate money from an industry. Here, entertainment is such big business. We just came from the Super Bowl, which, of course, big sports entertainment. And then the halftime show, that was just unbelievable. A lot of money went into that. And then to advertise people who create commercials, that's another whole industry in film. But it costs, I don't know how many millions of dollars to place an advertisement on the show during the Super Bowl. So entertainment here in America is such a billion-dollar business that they put a lot of money into it. And there are many theaters. Now it's changing because a lot of people are starting to view films at home and on their own home computers or their cell phones. But still, you can make money in the industry because people are always watching films. And now you can even produce them on your cell phone. The cell phones have become cameras. And I even saw a whole movie produced by, cell phone video. But the point you make about the money being put in it so that you can produce the quality so that people will pay to see it, that's a valid point. And I know some people, they're a little concerned about the direction that entertainment is taking. I know our caller earlier, Brother Muhammad, kind of expressed some alarm of perhaps the direction that cultural things such as dance and music is taking, but it is an income generating opportunity to be in entertainment. And so how do we make it entertaining and wholesome so that it benefits us? We're going to take a break and come back and address that issue. And if you're listening online and want to join this conversation, we invite you to give us a call. And our Monday Morning Mindfulness host, Zelda Robinson, says, until they get funding, can't they record on their cell phone? Well, we'll talk about that when we come back, because you'd be surprised what you can do on a cell phone. We'll be right back after this brief break. We want you all to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in a moment, so stay with us.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com. What happens when a group of people are kidnapped from their homes, smuggled away in chains, and held captive in a foreign land where they are tortured, raped, and forced to perform hard labor by the lash of a whip and under the constant threat of death? Slavery, the African American psychic trauma. What happened to the doctors, writers, scientists, builders, educators, and spiritual leaders from Africa's golden age? Who did they really capture and sell into slavery? Are all African Americans suffering from psychic trauma because of a conspiracy to hide their true identities? Do you have psychic trauma? Take the test on page 22 of the book and see. Order it online today at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. And get your personally autographed copy of the book, Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma.
And we are back. You're listening to and watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. I'm Naima Latif, and we have our guest joining us live from Liberia, West Africa, Bockarie Marcy Kamala, who is a film producer, a musician, an actor, a script writer, and he is also one who is using his craft to bring a message. So activism can come in creative forms. Before the break, a question was asked: before you're able to produce a film with the expensive equipment, what about using your cell phone? And we're gonna listen to one of his other songs right after this. I believe we're back with our co-host and our American Muslim 360 family, and we want them to hear a very motivational song. But first, the question: is it possible, using very basic technology such as a cell phone, is it possible to produce a film of high enough quality where
Okay, yeah, it's very possible, but not in all cases. For the not all phones you can use to produce certain quality of video. Yeah. So basically, the most phone that is advised for production is iPhone, and the iPhone have stages, but then you also have to get an extensional lens for the iPhone to produce the kind of film you want to produce. Because using the iPhone, just the iPhone, you cannot get all of your shots on the phone just like that. Except you have extensional lenses attached to that iPhone. And those extensional lenses are expensive, and in Africa here, iPhone is also expensive. So sometimes we prefer getting the iPhone, just get the camera instead. Yeah. So it's possible you use your phone to produce, but it has to be a very good and quality phone.
I see. Well, you know what we're gonna do.
I see. Well, you know what we're gonna do.
Fix this. What I want to do. is to share. I'm going to share the song. We have. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. All right. Yes, we're have a bit of it. Well, I got rid of the echo. So now we want to share the song that you created that is a bit of an encouragement. So this is another song by Bockarie Marcy Kamala. And tell us the name of the song. The other one we're about to play.
Yeah, it's called Don't Give Up.
Don't give up. All right. Real basic. All right. and that's the theme. Don't give up. Because there are challenges, but we need to be able to face them and overcome them, even if we're not really sure how we're going to do that. So let's take a listen. Yes. Are you able to hear? We're playing a song. Are you able to hear it?
We're not hearing
Oh, let's see. Okay, well your mic is open here on the station. No, you're not muted. So you lost audio?
if you are playing his song, Naeem, which unfortunately we can't hear it.
Okay, well, give me a moment. I'm going to check a few sound things while it's playing. Give me a moment. Okay. Okay, so can you hear my voice? Can you hear my voice?
Loud and clear.
You can hear my voice, but you can't hear the song?
Yes.
That's odd.
No.
That is odd. Okay. Yes, that's that. Now you're hearing my voice.
Loud and clear.
Now that's interesting.
We're not hearing the song that you.
That's interesting because it's the same sound. That's odd. You know, of course, we don't own the rights to this music, but we do have the right to play it. So I don't know if it's being blocked by YouTube because it's music and it's a copyright issue. But of course, we have the artist right here who has the rights and has given us permission to play it. So we do have permission to play this song. So maybe that's the problem, that YouTube is blocking the sound because it's a song. Were you able to hear the other one that we played? The song about Mr. President. Were you able to hear?
Unfortunately, no, we haven't heard that one. I think it was very faint.
Yes.
Very faint.
Yes. So the thing about music, because we're on Facebook and YouTube, and they have to protect copyrights of artists. Perhaps and they can block the sound of a song if they think that there is a copyright infringement. So we don't own the rights to this music, but we do have permission to play it. So it sounds like it's something that was blocked by YouTube and Facebook because it's a music piece. Because it doesn't make sense if you can hear my voice, but you couldn't hear me playing the music, and they're going through the same airwaves. So that could possibly have been the issue. But it is a song that has been created by our guest for the purpose of encouraging people. And we're going to see. We have downloaded it so that we could make sure the sound was clear. And one of the things that happens when you play a song, it does get instantly put out in the internet, and sometimes an artist loses the power over whether or not it gets played without permission. So that's a way that the Facebook and YouTube controllers protect artists' rights. However, in this case, we are playing this song with the full permission of the artist. So, therefore, there is no reason to not be able to play it. Okay, so here we go. Are you able to hear it now?
We talking about self living in the home, what the children living on the street. They're trying so hard, there's no way they can survive. The life they are living is so hard, except they gotta go in the hard way. Every day I go down my nails and pray for the Lord to have mercy. Don't give up, keep working hard. Just keep working hard. Don't give up, keep working hard. The condition is permanent. Don't give up.
All right, you can hear it.
Hard. Just keep working hard. Don't give up. Keep working hard. If you try your fail, just try again. That's the life we live. We're living on the street.
Really? Distorted.
Wow, I wake up in the morning with so much stress. It's out of back, just leave my house and I ask myself, why the good die young, why the wise die poor? No food on the table. Mommy and daddy used to grumble, ladies used to hustle. Guys used to vocal, jungle, they brought me trouble. Some of us had to gamble. I had to put them on and pray. Because we are like two eagles trying to play a breed. Bring for someone to set us free. I can't believe it. No, not like in the Asian. Lack of patience. Must have nigga did cocaine. But those cocaine blow up their brain. But music is my game. Money making is my aim. I refuse to give up, so I keep my head up. Don't give up. Keep your head up. Just keep working hard. Don't give up. Keep working hard. The condition is permanent.
Is it still distorted?
Keep working hard. Just keep working hard. Don't give up. Keep working hard. If you try to fail, just try again. From street to street, I'm respond up trying to achieve my goal. I must have for my soul before I go old. They make a brush up my teeth. That's the street. Struggle for my daily bread. Struggle for existence. Survival of the fittest. The strongest must survive. Should be baroque just to make my tomorrow. I don't want my life to end in sorrow. From hit up to dust up, become my wheel cut. Sure, the sun is so hot, but I don't care. All I need to make money, live the life I can. I need a car to ride it, need a house to live in, need a lady by my side.
Let me see if I can fix that.
Head up. Still not hearing it.
Still not hearing it.
Unfortunately.
Well, let's see.
We have a caller here on the studio. I'll oversee of my community.
Okay, well, we will go to that caller. And, all right, we're going to take a caller on your switchboard. Let me go to where. And if you are listening online,
I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. We are a part of the online network of Associated Internet Radio hosts, On Air. On Air empowers you with transformative news and interactive radio TV shows. This is such a wonderful time to be alive and to see our human family coming together as one community as a result of that powerful tool, the internet. We can now talk directly to each other all over the world. There's no need for conflict or misunderstanding. There's no need for violence to solve our differences. We can talk to each other face to face until we reach an agreement.
okay, so here we are. We'll take that caller. Go right ahead.
All right, 706. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
When it comes to it again, two things that we were going along. I wanted to get the clear definition of hip hop. It is the way that in our life, it's trying to get the world to express itself through sexual violence, sexual intercourse violence, homosexual sexual orientation violence, and this is why it is a very dangerous area of artistic that we need to go to. But
Brother Muhammad, let me make a point here, Brother Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Muhammad. I really want us to understand. I want us to understand a style of music, because that's what we're talking about. When we talk about hip hop, we're talking about a certain kind of beat, a certain rhythm, a certain style, an ability to speak in a rhythm and tell a story that rhymes and has a pattern. And you know what? When I would explain to my students, my high school students who listen to hip hop, and they asked me about Islam. You know what I said? I said the way Islam was spread was through the Holy Quran, and it was revealed in words that were rhythmic and rhyming and had a pattern and a beat, because your brain is wired to remember patterns of sound. So when something rhymes, it's easier to remember. And that's how the word of God was revealed, just like hip hop. So I was able to help my high school students relate to the Holy Quran as a hip hop piece, because it rhymes, it's in rhythm, it's easy to remember because the verses have a pattern, because that's how our mind remembers things. So it's the same thing that our artists do when they're telling a story, and they have a tremendous vocabulary to be able to express a thought and make it rhyme. That's high intelligence. And we can see how that works because the word of God through the Holy Quran was revealed in patterns of rhyme that make sense. So if we're going to understand the power of hip hop, we have to know that it is a tool used by our creator to teach. And it's the same thing our artists have the power to do. If they have intelligence, they can teach using this medium because they have enough words in their vocabulary, and using what God created, music, sound, rhythm, they're able to appeal to people. So it isn't the style that's a problem. It's the message that comes from people who don't have a higher consciousness. But if we can raise the consciousness of our artists, they can be powerful instruments in telling a story. So I'm going to let our guest address that, how hip hop has the power to teach and inspire based on it's being easy to remember because the patterns of sound that rhyme. So, Brother Bockarie, what are your thoughts about that? That hip hop as a tool that can teach and inspire.
Yeah, I'm a lover of hip hop from childhood. I listened to 50 Cent, Tupac Shakur, Buju Banton, and a lot of them. And they have some odd music that sometimes they say it's not good for children. But for me, I always go in for the positive ones. Yeah. And since then, I've music speaks to the soul, because for me, and for any problem I have in this world, no matter what, once I'm with music and the right music at the right time, because music is selectional. You are not forced to listen to all the generics of songs. You can choose the one you can relate to and go along with it. So I normally choose what I think I can go along with, and they preach to my soul, and that is hip hop. Not all hip hop, but hip hop with message. So that's my part of music. I always go in for the message. Even myself, people do criticize me. You are too gentle to do hip hop. But I'm not doing hip hop because I want to be a gangster. I'm doing hip hop because I want to pass a message. And I believe hip hop is just like you define it, is of words that preach message. So normally hip hop is a listenable music, it's not for dancing. It's something that you sit and listen to. Let the wordings speak to your soul and preach to you.
Yes.
So
well, thank you so very much.
That's what I do here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so very much.
And we're out of time now. We want to say thank you to our guest, Bockarie Marcy Kamala, and we want you to listen to him. And of course, and we'll be sure to share his information as we make sure that we give a platform to those who need the message. And how can people hear you?
10 seconds.
You have a website?
You have a website?
I don't have a website now, but I have an email, a YouTube page, and I have a WhatsApp and that of Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah.
So go on and look up. All right.
Pardon?
All right. And
Thank you so very much. And we appreciate you and look forward to having you back real soon.
We've come to the end of our show today.
And thank you all for joining us on this Wednesday edition of the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. Thank you to my co-host, Kareem Hamid, our American Muslim 360 family, all our callers and viewers. And you can listen to this show in the archives. And of course, join us again tomorrow for Shop with Zoe. We'll be back.
Listen to our radio show, order our books, and be sure to get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussion. And to
But they say some music is the devil, yeah,
all
and
around the world, we say
yeah, that's true.
to our family in China,
And thank you so much for all of you who listened and watched.
Japan, arigato, Korea, 감사합니다, Russia, spasiba, Germany, danke, Poland, dziękuję, France, merci, Spain, gracias, Italy, grazie, Egypt, shukran, Ghana, medasi, Nigeria, eshe, South Africa, Niamanga, Senegal, Geret, Kenya, Israel, Toda, Pakistan, Shukriya, Afghanistan, Tashakur, Saudi Arabia, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God.
And thank you, our dear sister Zelda, for watching and all. And we'll see you tomorrow on the Female Solution.